plus z. So sum term means what? When you have a or operation between the two variable. When you have this type or operation, if you have in a variable, then it is called as sum term. So you can see this or operation is happening. You can see this or operation is happening. So this is a sum term. Now coming to SOP, sum of product, which question I had asked you people. Sum of product means when you have product term summed together. When you have a product term summed together. So I have written a number of product term. I have written a number of product term here. When I sum it together, it becomes sum of product. So it becomes X, XY bar. Of course, when I say sum of product, I can't bring A bar BC here. It will be in the terms of X and Y only. So it will be X, Y bar, Z bar. So this becomes your sum of product. Coming to product of sum. I hope it is clear. If any doubt is there, you can interrupt and ask in between. Product of sum means you bring your sum terms. This second one which we have discussed, sum term, this you bring and then you product it together, it becomes product of sum. So it will become x plus y and any other term. So all sum will be product together. So this is an example of product of sum. Now coming to min term and max term. Min term and max term, I would like you people to write this definition. I am dictating. You can write this definition of min term. Why I am starting to dictate? Because these are important terms which you will have to remember and which you should remember the definitions clearly. So for min term, write the definition. Min term is a product term which contains each of n variable. Min term is a product term which contains each of n variable in either complemented or uncomplemented form. In either complemented or uncomplemented form. I am repeating, min term is a product term which contains each of n variable in either complemented or uncomplemented form. So I will just give one example here. If I have a min term which is of two variable, so if I write a plus a b bar, it is not in a min term form. Why it is not in a min term form? Because it should contain each of n variable. Each of n variable means what? This specific term contains two variable. So each term should contain each of this n variable. So what we can see here is this is for two variable. So this is for two variable a and b, but this specific term is having only a, so it is not in a min term form, because the definition says it should contain, each product should contains each of n variable in either complemented or uncomplemented form. So you can see in this first one b is not there, in this both are there. So what can be done? We have to take care that this also contains the b variable. So you all know Boolean algebra. So Boolean algebra, you know, in that what happens, I will bring this here and you can see one term, this term does not have your b variable. So what do we do? This f of ab, as you know that if I multiply it with b plus b bar, I am not changing anything. You know your Boolean algebra. So because b plus b bar is 1 and 1 ANDed with a remains a. So I can multiply this without changing the actual value of the expression. So next, the second term remains as it is. This second term remains as it is. Only the first term I multiply b and b bar. Now when I open the bracket, it becomes AB plus AB bar and AB bar again. So now you can see I have 2 times AB bar, and you also know, as per Boolean expression, x plus x remains x, y plus y remains y. So this reduces to AB plus AB bar. So now I can say that this specific term is in a minterm form. Minterm means, see, minterm means each one variable, one term actually. Okay, minterm means one term, and what I have shown you now is it is a, this is a canonical sum of product. Okay, and what is minterm? Minterm, I will what is minterm? Minterm is this and this. These are minterm. This is minterm. So I hope it is clear to you now. Canonical SOP means it is combination of minterms. And what is minterm? Minterm is the term which has all the variables. When I had shown in the first case, this did not had B, so it was not a minterm form. So I corrected it and I made it in a minterm form. Same applies for maxterm. Minterm and canonical SOP is clear to all of you? Minterm and canonical SOP is clear to all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now I want you people to write definition of canonical SOP. Canonical SOP. Minterm was what? Minterm was a product term which contains each of n variable in either complemented or uncomplemented form. That is minterm. Now you write canonical SOP. Canonical SOP. Write down the definition of canonical SOP. A canonical sum of product is complete set of minterms. A canonical sum of product is complete set of minterms that defines when an output is logical 1. A canonical sum of product is complete set of minterms that defines when an output variable is logical 1. I am repeating last time. A canonical sum of product is complete set of minterms that defines when an output variable is logical 1. Okay, so this is minterm and canonical SOP. So canonical SOP and minterm are related to each other. Okay, now let us come to maxterm. Now maxterm, as the term specifies, write down the definition of maxterm. Now write down the definition of maxterm. A maxterm is a sum term that contains all the input variable, or I will give an easier one. A maxterm is a sum term which contains each of n variable A maxterm is a sum term which contains each of n variable in either complemented or uncomplemented form. Okay, so this is about maxterm, which is a sum term which contains each of n variable in either complemented or uncomplemented form. So I will give you an example of maxterm here. Example of maxterm, again for the sake of simplicity, I will take 2 variable only. So I will take again AB only. Now if again I take it as suppose A product, no, it is A. Okay, so do you think it is in maxterm form? or I should say canonical POS form. I need to convert it to, it is not max term. In this, this term is max term. This term is max term because it is A plus B bar. But what about this term? This is not a max term. One term is max term, other term is not max term. Now what I am supposed to do? I should convert it to max term form. Max term form means when I combine all that, then it becomes canonical POS. But as of now, it is not in a max term form. One is in max term form, other one is not in max term form. So what shall I do for that? I need to bring the other term also into picture. And how should I do that? I will show you now. So I will show this to you now. Check here. What is happening? I will write f of AB. The first one is not, no. So what I should do? Again, you should remember your Boolean algebra. In Boolean algebra, if you remember, B into B bar is what? B ANDed with B bar is, B ANDed with B bar is 0, right? B ANDed with B bar is 0. And 0 odd with A will be A only, right? 0 odd with A will be A only. So what I am changing? Of course, the term which is in max term form, I will leave it as it is. But the sum what is not in max term form, that is this A which is not in max term form, what I should do? I should do something so that it becomes in max term form. And when I do that, I should not change the actual value of this term. So what should I do? I OR it with B bar. Now see whether I did any change or not. When I do B bar means what? It's a 0. I hope you remember your Boolean algebra from your last semester. B bar makes it 0. And 0 odd with A is A itself, right? So this is what I am doing now. B bar is 0. 0 odd with A remains A. So even if I do this plus B bar, there is no change. I am not changing the actual thing. I am just trying to convert it to max term form. So now what you see, I hope you remember the distributive law of Boolean algebra. People will know min term, people will know SOP, but people get confused in max term form. So I am reminding you, and that is why I have started with a small variable of a small term of only 2 variable. So what do we do here? We need to distribute this A to this B and B bar. All of you please see it carefully, because I have seen your seniors doing mistake in this. A need to be distributed to B and B bar. So what happens? It becomes A plus B. So A distributed to B. Now next will be A plus B bar. So it is distributed to B bar. So I can now show you, I can show you what is happening. When this B is given, this A is distributed to B, it becomes A plus B. And when this A distributed to B bar, it becomes A plus B bar. So this is your expansion of distributive law with respect to OR function. Okay, so this is this OR function. This is the OR function where it got distributed, and the other one remains as it is. The next term remains as it is, so we need not bother about that. So the next term is A plus B bar itself. Now you can again see that 2 terms are becoming common. 2 terms becoming common means it is A plus B and A plus B bar. So what happens? Now can I say that it is in a canonical form? So yes, it is in a canonical form now. So max term means what? Max term means max term means this and these. These are max terms. These are max terms, and this complete thing is called as canonical product of sum, canonical POS. Now I want you people to write the definition of canonical POS. What is canonical POS? So write down canonical POS or canonical product of sum is a complete set of max term. Canonical product of sum is a complete set of max term that defines when an output variable is logical 0. A canonical POS or canonical product of sum is a complete set of max term that defines when an output variable is logical 0. Now about this output variable logical 0, all these I will further explain to you people. As of now, you understand that canonical POS means if it is f of a, b, then your each max term, this is your max term, one max term, this is your second max term. So if it is a canonical POS, each max term should have all the variable. Each max term should have all the variable. Same way, when you talk about canonical sum of product, if it is a two variable thing, each term should have all the variable. So this each min term should have all the variable. So this is about your definitions and basic understanding of the terms which is related to combinational logic. Is this part clear to all of you? If it is clear, I will go to next part, and which will also be talking about things related to this canonical form only. If you
Yes,
all are
ma'am.
fine, okay. If you all are fine, I will go to the next term. In the last class, I had asked you people to do something. Some students had given me answer that day itself through personal WhatsApp, and most of those answers were correct only. But because I am teaching all 59 of you, I need to see that it is clear. Means the idea, the fundamental idea of these things should be clear. So if these definitions are clear, we will go to little bit of other thing, conversion to canonical form. Write down the next topic name as conversion to canonical form. Next topic name, conversion to canonical form. Now, when I gave you definition of canonical SOP, canonical POS, I have told that it the definition says that it is it will give 1 for SOP. The output variable is logical 1 for SOP and logical 0 for POS. What does that mean? That you will understand now. So definition half part you have understood. Definitions other half you will understand now with this example. Okay, fine. So conversion of canonical form. Then second sheet you are able to see, all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now I am starting with a second problem which I had given in the last class, and I will show you many things with respect to this, not only conversion. You will have a very broad understanding of what it means. So I want you to understand it carefully, and then you will be able to answer the question which I will be asking in today's class question. Each class will you will be asked one question. Okay, so take down the question, that is A plus B bar C plus A bar BC. I think this one only I gave you in the last class. Okay, so to convert it to canonical form, what shall I do? Anyone can answer? A few have already done, so you can answer very well. What shall I do to make it in a canonical SOP form?
First, we should multiply A with B plus B bar and C plus C bar.
Correct. Okay. So what we have to do is, we have to start with, see what I can see here in this one is in already min term form, because it is a B, C. All A, B, C is there in this term, so I need not do anything to that. But other two terms I need to convert it to min term form. So let me start one by one. I will start with the second term now. All of you should do it along with me. Also, you remember that when A, B, C is written in this order, it should be in the same order when you write for min term also. So I am multiplying A plus A bar, and this is simple multiplication. Now when I write, please write A to the first only, A, B bar, C. Do not write it as B bar, C, A. You will know why. I will tell you now only. But let us complete it first. So A should come in the right position. Do not write B bar, C, A. It will change the meaning. Same way now you have to multiply A bar, B bar, C, and last term will be copied as it is. So I have just converted this part. Okay. Now let us start with the, now I have three terms which are in min term form, and I have one term which is not in min term form. So now I will start with this term to make it in min term form. So A, first I will multiply with B plus B bar, and all will be copied as it is. All will be copied as it is. Okay, so now when I multiply, I should also see to it, that it is correctly done. Now, next what I am supposed to do, I will be multiplying each one with C plus C bar. And what about the other thing? Other thing will remain copied as it is. Why I am asking you people to copy it as it is? Because I have seen your seniors, they will do one term and they will forget about other term. And other term will be missed somehow, and finally the answer will be wrong. So that is why I am making it in different color also. You remember that what I am trying to do. Now, when I make it in final form, now my last term will come all in the canonical form or min term form. So A, B, C bar. Now this one, A, B bar, C plus A, B bar, C bar, right? So this is originated, this four terms has originated from this A. This A has given me these four terms, and rest all are same. Rest all are same. So rest all is, I will copy it again. So it is A, B bar, C. If I do any mistake, please let me know. Okay. Okay. Now what you can see, there may be some common terms. So which all are common terms?
A, B C bar.
A, B, C bar are common terms. A, B, C bar. Where is A, B, C bar? Only one A, B, C bar I am able to see.
A, B bar, C are common terms.
Okay, so this A, B bar, C and this A, B bar, C are common terms. And that's it. Is there anything else common?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so let me write only one. See, if anything is common, you have to write it only once. You need not write it two times, because you remember Boolean algebra, A plus A is A only. So this this term plus this term is equal to this term only. So I need to write it once only. Now I have all my terms with me with no repetition. Okay. So see, what you used to do in last semester, you were simplifying. You were simplifying a term using a Boolean algebra. Now what you are doing? You are doing ulta. You are expanding it. Why do we expand it? See, why did you simplify in the first place in last semester? We used to simplify so that we can realize it with minimum number of gates, right? That is why we were simplifying in the last semester. We were simplifying. Now we are expanding it to canonical form. Why we are expanding? Because when we automate these things through a computer system is not intelligent enough like human being to work with a simplified term. So computer system requires the complete thing, otherwise error will come. So when you bring things in canonical form, it is easy for an automated computer system to work on it. So when I am expanding it, I am bringing it into its maximum form. And after that, it is possible for us to generate programs to take care of these things. Now, whatever I am telling you in canonical form, when you start learning K-map, you will know that why this was important. I will show all those things today so that you get a big picture of what you are doing for this conversion. You should not take it as a topic. You should know the big picture of it. Now you all know that this gives us some information. Now, when I say it is a function of A, B, C, what do you mean? What do you understand? A, B, C means it is a 3-variable term, and a 3-variable can give me the numbers from what to what. If A, B, C all are 0, 0, 0, it gives me a 0. If A, B, C all are 1, 1, 1, it gives me a 7. So A, B, C with 3 variable, it has capability to give me the range of number from 0 to 7. Now when I give you this function, I give you this function, it tries to say that this function value will be 1 for certain cases. Now what is this certain cases? You have to give numbers to each one. You have to give numbers to each one. So now I will say A, B, C becomes what? 1, 1, 1. A, B, C bar means 1, 1, 0. Okay. Now you understand, I told you to write it in right order. I told that it should be in right order. And when it is in sum of product form, bar means 0 and without complement means 1. So it becomes like this. So how do we write? There is one way of writing. The way of writing for this is summation. We write it as summation. Summation means f of A, B, C will be written as summation. When I say min term, means a small m. When I say a max term, it becomes a capital M. Okay. So these are all nomenclature you should know. Okay. Now I write it in the number form now. Okay. So now I have to start searching in order. Do I have a 0 here?
No, no 0.
We don't have a 0. Okay. Now let me write the numbers. What is 111?
7.
Yeah. So 111 is 7. Let me change the pen color. You can mute yourself. So this is a 7. 110 is a 6. 101 is a 5. I hope you people remember this. 100 is 4.
Yes, ma'am.
011 is 1 and 011 is 3. Okay. So I have to write it in a min term form now. In a min term form means I should write it like 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So what did I do? I converted an expression in a canonical SOP form, and I have written it in a canonical SOP form that contains min terms. Okay. Now, what do you mean by the definition saying that it will be a 1 for the given expression? Now, I will make a truth table. Okay. I will make a truth table. You all know what is a truth table. I will make one. Okay, so I will write A, B, C, and this is a function. This function is what? This function is A, B, C function, which you have just now written. So now you all know that truth table means it should have all the possibilities. So you know that 3 variable truth table will have 0, 0, 0. You all know this shortcut of writing a truth table. First column changing 1 by 1, second column changing 0, 0, 1, 1, and third column changing 4 times zeros and 4 times 1. So you know that this is a min term 0, this is a min term 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, 5, 6, and a 7. You know this. Now, what does this function say? This function say that this function will be 1 for all these cases. So, this function will be 1 for a 1, for a 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is the meaning. And what I don't have here is a 0 and a 2. So for 0, it will be a 0. For a 2 also, it will be a 0. So do you understand this? This is the meaning of this expression now. This is the meaning of this expression. Now, I want you people to see some simplification, I can say, or can you see that, can I say F equal to C? Can I say that F is equal to C? When can I say F equal to C? I can say F equal
Only
to
when
C.
only
Tell
when
me.
C and F are equal, ma'am. Only when all the terms of
Yes.
C and F are equal, you can say F is equal to C. In this case, it's not true because the third, from fourth term and the sixth term are not the same. So F is not equal to C.
Correct. See, I can't say F equal to C. I wanted to say F equal to C because I could see that so many cases it is same. So many cases it is same. But there are 2 cases when it is not same. So can I search for some other function? Can I search for some other function? Can I say that it is A plus C? What I am trying to say? See, you only told me that, so you only told me that F equal to C can't be true. Why? Because of these 2 cases, 4 and 6. But when I brought this A term into picture, what happened? It is one OR operation now. So when in this case of 4 and 6, in this case of 4 and 6, when this was a 0, in that case, A was 1. A was 1. So then F is equal to 1 plus 0 also is a 1. Right? So that is why I can say A plus C. Now it is not a hit and trial system. I am just trying to invoke certain things. Now one of you had simplified